right in the kisser.
How the devil are you? Why are you order? Okay, so what do we have today? We've got the SMSL DO100 Pro Hi-Fi Balanced DAC. Now, I was too excited. I couldn't wait to get it out of the box. It's already out of the box. Here it is. Ooh, right. But I'm going to show you the unboxing anyway. So here it is. Okay, let's have a little look what's under the bonnet, or for my American friends, the hood. Okay, so it supports MQA, decoding MQA CD. Is it still a thing? Maybe it's still a thing over in Asia, possibly, I don't know, but I think that's pretty much defunct now. Anyway, that's by the by. It's on there if you need it. It's got two pieces of the ESS, new generation high-end DAC chip, ES9039Q2M. Ooh. It's got LDAC, up to LDAC 24-bit 96 kilohertz, Bluetooth, aptX HD. Obviously, if you're on an iPhone, unfortunately, you're stuck with AAC. There you go. Now, it utilizes six, I tell you, high-end dual op-amps, OPA 1612, and numerous audio-grade components. Uses third generation XMOS XU316 support, which supports up to PCM 32-bit 768 and DSD 512. The audio clock processing circuit helps reduce clock jitter greatly. There are two modes, USB 1.1 and USB 2. Now USB 1.1 I think is for gaming. I'll show you that further down on this list. Input ports except Bluetooth support MQA and DSD. It's coaxial optical support DOP64. Noise and it's JAS high resolution certification, if I could just about say it. And it's got a full featured remote control. The colour is black. Okay, let's have a little look. See, we've been through all that. We've done all that yet. Then it says game support for consoles USB 1.1 mode. So if you're a gamer, you're in. And what does it say about the gaming here? So when you switch, so you can connect, so if you want to connect the PS5 according to this, I don't game, so, you know, correct me if I'm wrong. The switch requires switching to USB 1.1 mode. But I do believe that you have to turn off the unit and turn it back on to get that to work. I think so. That's what I've read. Any road. Obviously, well, it's really good to see a HDMI arc on the back. So you can plug it into your TV, or if you're gaming through your TV, you can plug that into your TV. Now you can go to an amp and then speakers, passive speakers, but probably you'd be better on a TV to go to some powered speakers, but it's completely up to you. Powered speakers might be a bit better running from this unit, but totally up to you. Any road. Okay. Anything else? MQA. Pfft, get out of it. Nah, nothing else I think on there. Right, let's have a look at the functions on the unit itself. Okay, so here it is. It's a really well-made unit. Everything feels really premium about it. I like the look of it. This little shape here, this bending, the screen is nice and clear. The volume button, it's plastic, but it functions really well. It's nice little notches on there, turning the volume up and down. Now, also what I like about this unit is that on some units in the past, other DACs, you can only access some of the functions using the remote. With this one, you can access all the functions using this. Okay, so you don't even need a remote, it's just there as a courtesy, I suppose. The only thing different is you can access the Bluetooth via the FN button there. That gives you quick access to the Bluetooth button. But you've got the volume there. But apart from that, you can access it all from here. So let's have a look at the functions. So obviously volume. Right. Press it once and it takes you to your inputs, USB, Bluetooth, optical, coaxial, ARC. Nice. Press it again while it's in there and it takes you to your filters. Now, I settled on number 3, which is linear phase, fast roll off, low ripple. Okay. But I can never really hear a lot of difference between these filters. I mean, I settled on number 3, you know, thinking, I thought, well, maybe that is the best one for me, but these filters, so number 1 is a minimum phase, then you got linear fast roll off, then you got linear phase fast roll off, low ripple, then you got linear phase slow roll off, then you got linear phase, what's this, fast roll off, and then minimum phase, slow roll off, minimum phase, slow roll off, low ripple. I don't know. Potentially I could hear, you know, it might be just all in my head, but I could hear a slight difference between them, and I settled on number 3. If anyone's got better hearing than me, who says they can notice a bigger difference than I can, let me know in the comments. Right, I've lost it now, so it just automatically goes out if you don't stay in there. So it's your filters there. And then you've got, so DP. Now this is a DPLL. So, right, I'm not quite, it's something to do with jitter, okay? It goes up from 1 to 9. Now I'll read it out verbatim, okay, because I've no idea what it means. It says DPLL 1 to 9. The smaller the number, the better the performance against clock jitter. The DPLL setting is a special function of the ESS series products. It can adjust the bandwidth of the DPLL digital phase lock loop circuit inside the chip, so that the chip achieves a balance between anti-clock jitter and input tolerance. Oh, clear as day. Easy to understand what the deuce. Its function, that's what I want to know what it's for. It says, when the clock stability of the input signal is good, this value can be reduced so that the clock performance of the system is better. So obviously, at number 1, the clock jitter is at its best performance. However, when the clock stability of the input signal is not good, the sound may be interrupted. So you may get interruptions. Increasing the value can avoid sound interruption, especially when using TV as a signal source. So if you've got the TV plugged in and you're getting some interruptions, you can go here and maybe adjust it through until you get to which DP number you find that the interruptions stop. That's what I'm guessing. Anyway, there you go. Right, next one is, oh, this is USB-T and USB-T. USB 2 and USB 1.1, and this is for gaming. So if you want to use it for gaming, you can go to USB 1.1. But like I said, you do need to turn that off. Let's put it back to 2. You do need to turn it off and on again for that to function. I think so. I'm sure I read that somewhere. And then press it one more time, and this is just the dimness and brightness of the screen. Obviously low and high. There you go. I'll leave it on number 5. And there you go. Right, so how does it sound? Well, really good. I'm very happy with the sound of it. Very clean, very detailed, punchy, dynamic. I can't really grumble about the sound at all. That's exactly what you'd expect from a good DAC. Yeah, very happy with the sound of it. Just before I started making this video, I was playing a few tracks, and one particularly caught my attention, which is Frankie Goes to Hollywood, 2 Tribes, the 12-inch version extended. I think it's the Desolation mix, Annihilation mix, I can't remember. It's a lot going on in that song. And it was everything, you could pick up the instruments, the bass line on it. Really, really good, really good. Especially going through my AIMA, my AIMA B07 into my passive sub. Beautiful. And the funny thing was, I wanted to know what other instruments were in this to make sure I could pick them all out, and I could pick pretty much everything out. Tom-toms going on, there's an organ going on. And I came across this video of some session musicians who I think were involved in the original track. And they were just playing actual instruments, bass guitar, lead guitar. I think it was a keyboard, a guy with a, was that a maraca? Like that, right? Just doing an intimate live session in a studio, you know, just kicking back and just jamming. And it was really nice to watch, you know. My daughters were really confused. What is that they're holding? I said, they're instruments, kids. That's what musicians used to use to play music back in the day. Anyway, right. I'll put a link to that video down in the description box below. Really nice watch if anybody's interested. But there we are. I digress. So sound-wise, I'm really good. I can't grumble with it at all. It's a good performing DAC. So I thought, you know me, I love a sound test. Oh, I love a sound test. So I thought I'd put it up against my Topping D53 DAC. Now that is a good little DAC as well. So sounds really good. So how do they sound off against each other? Now, to make it so you get the best, I mean, obviously we're going through YouTube here, YouTube compression, blah. Okay. Duh, you know that it's pointless doing a sound test over YouTube due to YouTube compression. But what I've done is go directly out of the DAC. I've not used speakers. I've gone directly out of the DACs through an audio capture device into a laptop, recorded it on Audacity, and then saved that as a WAV file so I can capture as much information on that track as possible to give you a detailed comparison. Anyway, I'm waffling on. Have a listen to this. And there you go. What do you think of that? I couldn't tell the difference. They was good at each other. There was no difference at all. I couldn't tell the difference whatsoever. So, I mean, if you was having to choose between the two, you know, they're both good DACs, but I'd probably go for the SMSL because the topping's a little bit more expensive by about 30 quid, I think. And also the topping doesn't have an ARC input. Although the topping does have PEQ, but only via the USB cable from a PC, saying that. So if you want the PEQ, maybe the topping's for you, but personally for me, I'd probably go for the SMSL. Anyway, that's come to the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll catch you in the next one.